Light FM. Happy Genesis, IB Morning Dave. Good morning. Glad you're here today. It's 8:42.
Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation.
And you want to do that, and you want to listen to what we've got here because we're checking in as to what's going on your money today with the help from Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Philip, you and I were going through it and trying to figure out why we're so danged happy on Wall Street, because we had another green day yesterday, didn't we?
We did, Dave, and I'm not sure exactly why that is or what's causing it. It's good, though. And from the headline, I guess we've retraced now from the lows of the Iranian oil debacle things that now are S&P 500 is basically retraced and back to even, if not better.
Yeah, we're just a gnat's breadth away from the 7,000 mark after yesterday's effort. Dow was up 0.66%. That's another 318 points. Standard & Poor's up 81 yesterday. That's a 1.18%. It gets us to 69.67 on the S&P. That's spitting distance away from 7,000. NASDAQ was up by 455 points, and the Russell, not to be left out, was up 1.32%, up $35. And we have no real reason. All of the rules of thumb about Wall Street hates uncertainty, and if you want a poster child for uncertainty, just look down at the Persian Gulf. But it seems like at this point in time, they're just assuming everything's going to be all right and playing Pharrell Williams happy in the background, aren't they?
It definitely seems that way. Now, I will say oil dropped significantly yesterday. When we started yesterday morning, we were a little over $95 a barrel. So it dropped below 91 yesterday, or right at 91, when the close yesterday. So that was a pretty significant drop in the oil price yesterday.
Which, once again, is hard to explain given the fact that supply lines are pretty well being choked off at the moment, even on the black market oil that they're getting out of Iran because we're blockading their ports. The world doesn't make sense to me today, Philip. Does it to you?
No, it doesn't. I mean, there's the economic news, what we're seeing across the pond, those things are not adding up to what we're seeing in the marketplace. There's just a lot of, I don't know, unexplained excitement in the market.
Maybe it's that recreational weed they're allowing in New York these days. It's affecting Wall Street. No reason to. I don't understand any of it. We got less bad news than we expected out of the various economic data dumps today. We expected to have the import price index go through the roof. It was up an uncomfortable level, but just not as bad as we expected it to. Is that a fair characterization?
Yeah, I mean, we expected import prices to blow it up, man. We expected them to be up like 2.4%. That was huge. They only came in at 0.8%, so I think that's probably a win.
Yeah, it's less bad news than we expected. And once you took the oil prices out of it, I won't say it was good news, but it was actually a manageable number once you got energy prices out of the import prices, right?
Yeah, it just went up 0.6%. So that was better than last month on both fronts. So you can't. I mean, obviously, we would like it going the other direction for prices to be going down. But let's face it, with all the stuff going on, that's probably not going to happen for a while.
We'll take what we can get away with at that point. Then we just add in some regional news in the process. One of those indexes that in normal times, and heaven knows we've been a couple of years since we've had normal times, the Empire State Manufacturing Index came out this morning. Business activity and manufacturing activity up in the New York Feds district. Once again, that was an absolute turnaround. Actually went positive on us. This economy's doing okay.
It definitely seems, it seems to be. Now, if you listen to the news media, you wouldn't think so, especially if you listening to some of those, more liberal stations, you would think that we were going to hell in a handbasket.
On balance, the objective figures tend to belie that in the process. I mean, granted, there's public discord and public dissatisfaction with the action in Iran. It is not a popular war, but it does appear at this point in time like, at the very least, the economy is weathering pretty darn well. Once again, yesterday it was not as bad a news as we expected this morning, and absolutely no exciting news that drove the market up, but we still ended up with a pretty good day. Oil fell, you mentioned that, which again we have trouble describing why. Bitcoin got back up to 74,000, and even the company news that we're getting is relatively good this morning. The financials are still flooding us. How are we doing with Bank of America in the last quarter?
Bank of America had a good quarter. They beat by 10 cents a share, came in at $1.11. Revenue ahead of expectations as well. Strong equity sales in their trading unit. So some good news for them. They're trading up almost 1.9% this morning. On staying on the kind of the financial front, Morgan Stanley also reported they came in 43 cents higher than expected at $3.43 a share. Revenue well above expectations also. They're trading up at 2.9% this morning. So financials definitely getting a big bump. However, let's see if that's still true. That's not quite true anymore. But PNC Bank, the regional bank, they also came out. They were down about 1% earlier. Today, they reported earnings that beat. As far as the earnings, revenue, however, did miss expectations, and so they're basically flat right now.
That's one of the relatively rare misses on the expectations from the financial sector. The biggest thing it's been costing them, kind of drawing a picture of what you've told me over the last 3 days, it's mostly the guidance and the uncertainty that's messing with the financial stocks. They're by and large doing okay, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And PNC now, they acquired, and they're blaming some of this on acquisition, a bank called First Bank. And so they're saying that may have had some impact on the quarter before.
Right.
So we're trying to see what else we got. We got tidbit when it comes to not really earnings, but Robinhood and a company called Webull. Never heard of that one. They are basically financial service platforms where you can trade. And I guess the Securities and Exchange Commission is going to end the limits on day trading for smaller retail investors. So I guess there used to be some limits in there that so because a lot of people use Robinhood, never heard of the other one. They are getting a nice little bump this morning because of that. They're up almost 8.2%.
So, folks, if you didn't have a chance to lose your butt on day trading last year, maybe you can do it now this year because you can get even more dangerous, right?
And do more. That's right. Lose more.
When you said Weeble, I hadn't heard of it either. I was thinking, what are they doing buying something that wobbles but it doesn't fall down? I had never heard of it either. Other tidbits you might have heard.
That's, I think, about, let me see, I've got Broadcom announced that they're doing a deal with Meta and plan to deliver a 1 gigawatt of custom chips. Now, that sounds like a lot to me. And so that has Broadcom up about 2.1% this morning.
Good heavens. We start talking about chips and the power consumption sizes blows my mind. Resetting the table, it was an up day yesterday on Wall Street. We've got some more news this morning. Not bad news on the inflation front for the import prices, and New York appears to be doing gangbusters. 45 minutes before we open, what are we looking at this morning?
It's a little mixed. The Dow is up 0.1%. The S&P 500 is just barely green right now. The NASDAQ 100 is slightly red, as well as the Russell 2000. And then on the other side, silver's down 1%. Gold's down 1/3%. Crude oil is heading up about 0.5%, but still well off yesterday. $91.72 a barrel right now.
I think we need to fill up with gas today, quick, before somebody realizes.
The gas price hasn't changed yet, though, Dave. I was like 4.20 when I came in today.
Yeah, I was going to say it always skyrockets up and then floats down every time. It never seems to fail. Looking at the overseas markets, the Asian Rim, by and large, happy at the close at 6 a.m. Chinese markets on the mainland basically flat this morning. Everybody else was marginally up. Over in Europe, halfway through their trading day, mostly a tinge of red this morning. The average European index is down by about 1/3% halfway through the European trading day. It's not exactly a sell-off, but they're not quite as optimistic as we are. Getting my retirement together so I can actually weather this storm, since nobody knows what the storm is going to be, that's going to take some expert eyes. How do I find you to get my plans in place?
Dave, planning is important, and you need to have a plan. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your core retirement design, where we can help you design that retirement you always dreamed of. And then catch the Statler Financial Radio Show this weekend, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m., 95.3 FM.
And newstalk730am.com as well. I appreciate it, my friend. We'll catch you tomorrow and tie the ribbons on the second of the last day of the week. Fair enough?
All right, man. Have a great day.
Take care. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.
Hey, folks. Thank you for joining us today. I hope your week has gone well. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.